For decades, Sandy Duncan's life appeared bright, successful, and full of laughter. Fans saw the talented actress, singer, and performer dazzling on stage and screen, always radiant and seemingly in control. But behind the spotlight, there was a side of her life that remained hidden. A private world of secrets and experiences that no one could have anticipated. For 30 years, she carried a story that she never shared. A reality that remained entirely separate from her public persona. Now, for the first time, Sandy is opening up, revealing details that have stunned fans and colleagues alike. The double life she lived wasn't about scandal or misbehavior. It was about navigating personal challenges, protecting herself, and maintaining a private sanctuary amidst a world obsessed with celebrity. Her story uncovers the quiet resilience, careful choices, and hidden struggles that defined her life away from the cameras. What makes this revelation so shocking is the contrast between the public image and the private reality. Sandy Duncan, beloved by millions, spent decades managing appearances, expectations, and relationships while keeping an entire of her life under wraps. And now, as she finally speaks out, the truth reshapes everything people thought they knew about her. It is a story of courage, secrecy, and survival, a glimpse into the extraordinary life of a woman who mastered the art of keeping the world entertained while protecting her deepest truths. Sandy Duncan has always been a figure synonymous with talent, charm, and a kind of effervescent energy that made audiences fall in love with her performances. From Broadway stages to television screens, she captured hearts with her smile, her voice, and her unshakable professionalism. But behind the curtain, beyond the applause and the bright lights, Sandy lived a life that few could have imagined. For 3 decades, she navigated a reality that remained entirely private, a world where personal struggles, hidden relationships, and carefully guarded decisions coexisted alongside her public persona. For years, fans saw only the surface, the iconic roles, the interviews, the public appearances, and the laughter she brought into homes across America. But the life she led off stage was markedly different. While she maintained her signature optimism in front of the cameras, she was simultaneously managing challenges and complexities that required discretion, patience, and incredible emotional strength. This duality defined her life for 30 years, a balancing act between public admiration and private survival. The double life was never about scandal or sensational behavior. It was about navigating a world in which visibility came at a cost. For Sandy, maintaining privacy was crucial. Every choice she made was measured against the potential intrusion of the media, the expectations of colleagues, and the curiosity of fans. In an industry that thrives on exposure, Sandy learned to keep certain truths to herself, protecting her personal world from becoming fodder for public consumption. It was a delicate dance, performing for millions while preserving the sanctity of her own life. Part of this hidden life involved relationships and connections that were never discussed publicly. Friends, confidants, and loved ones were often aware of these private moments, but the wider world remained in the dark. Sandy became adept at compartmentalizing, ensuring that her professional responsibilities and public image remained unaffected by her private experiences. The ability to maintain this boundary for decades is a testament to her resilience, her foresight, and her unwavering commitment to protecting her personal life. Another aspect of her concealed life involved navigating health challenges and personal setbacks. While the public witnessed her energy and vitality, the private reality included moments of struggle, recovery, and self-reflection that were kept far from the public eye. These experiences shaped her character and strengthened her resolve, yet they were carefully hidden to avoid disrupting the perception of a constant, unshakable figure. For Sandy, revealing these challenges was never about garnering sympathy. It was about preserving autonomy, dignity, and control over her own narrative. Her dual existence also reflects the broader pressures faced by performers in Hollywood. The industry rewards visibility but often penalizes vulnerability. Celebrities are expected to maintain a flawless exterior regardless of personal turmoil. Sandy's approach was a quiet rebellion against this norm. She demonstrated that it is possible to have a public life full of success and recognition while simultaneously nurturing a private life that is authentic, grounded, and safeguarded. For 30 years, she managed this balance with grace, intelligence, and an almost uncanny ability to navigate scrutiny without compromise. What makes her story compelling is the courage it took to sustain this duality. Living a life that requires constant vigilance, discretion, and emotional regulation is exhausting, yet Sandy carried it with poise. The world knew her as an entertainer, a bright and lively presence on stage and screen. What they didn't know was the depth of her personal resilience, the unseen battles she fought, and the careful measures she took to keep herself, her family, and her inner circle protected. Now, after decades of silence, Sandy Duncan is choosing to reveal the truth. The decision to speak out is as brave as it is transformative. It signals a shift from secrecy to openness, from protection to sharing, and from silent endurance to empowered storytelling. Her revelation promises to reshape the way people understand her life, not as a simple narrative of fame, but as a complex, multifaceted journey of a woman who mastered the art of balancing public adoration with private authenticity. For fans, colleagues, and anyone who has admired her career from afar, Sandy's disclosure is eye-opening. It challenges preconceived notions, uncovers hidden layers, and provides insight into the profound personal strength required to sustain a life that was, for 3 decades, lived in 2 worlds at once. Her story is one of courage, secrecy, and ultimately, triumph, a reminder that even in the spotlight, there are untold that define who a person truly is. Sandy Duncan's ability to maintain a dual existence for 3 decades was not accidental, it was deliberate, requiring strategy, discipline, and emotional intelligence. Behind the cheerful performances and radiant smiles, she carefully navigated a web of private obligations, personal challenges, and selective disclosures. To the public, she appeared unshakable, consistently delivering unforgettable performances while attending red carpets, interviews, and fan events. Yet behind closed doors, her reality was far more intricate. Sandy had to manage relationships, personal health, and life-altering decisions without the luxury of privacy that most people take for granted. Relationships were a cornerstone of her private life, and keeping them shielded from public view was essential. Whether friendships, family bonds, or personal partnerships, Sandy ensured that her inner circle remained insulated from media intrusion. She understood that exposure could distort perceptions, create pressure, and ultimately destabilize connections she cherished. Over 30 years, she cultivated a trusted network of confidants who understood the complexities of her life and could provide guidance, support, and perspective. This carefully maintained circle allowed her to experience deep, meaningful relationships without compromising her public persona. In addition to managing relationships, Sandy navigated personal challenges that demanded discretion. Health concerns, moments of vulnerability, and significant life choices were handled quietly, away from the glare of public attention. Her resilience lay in her ability to address these challenges without letting them define her public image. While fans and colleagues saw only the polished results of her hard work, the truth is that much of her energy went into maintaining equilibrium between her personal well-being and the demands of a high-profile career. This balancing act required foresight, patience, and extraordinary self-awareness. Sandy's professional life was inseparable from her dual existence. Every role she accepted, every performance she gave, and every public appearance she made was carefully calibrated to uphold the image of a confident, vibrant, and capable performer. Yet beneath the surface, she was constantly making decisions about what to reveal and what to conceal. This level of discretion is rare, especially in an industry that thrives on exposure. Her capacity to manage both worlds simultaneously is a testament to her intelligence and emotional fortitude. The duality also extended to her emotional life. While her performances exuded joy, humor, and charm, she often dealt with private moments of uncertainty, reflection, and even fear. Living a public life while keeping private struggles hidden can be isolating. But Sandy found ways to cope through trusted allies, personal routines, and an unwavering commitment to her own sense of stability. For 30 years, she navigated the emotional complexities of maintaining an image while addressing realities that demanded attention, care, and resilience behind the scenes. What makes her story so compelling is the meticulous way she balanced these 2 worlds. It was not a simple matter of hiding facts. It was a full-fledged commitment to managing perception, safeguarding relationships, and protecting personal integrity. Sandy Duncan's dual life required constant attention, foresight, and judgment. She had to anticipate how her actions in one world could impact the other, ensuring that her professional credibility and private well-being were never compromised. One of the most significant challenges was the emotional isolation that often accompanies secrecy. Maintaining a public image while harboring private truths can create a sense of distance from even close colleagues and friends. Sandy navigated this tension by cultivating deep, trusting relationships within her inner circle, people who understood her reality and provided the emotional support she needed. These trusted allies became her anchors, offering perspective and comfort as she managed the pressures of celebrity life alongside her private experiences. Without these connections, sustaining such a dual existence would have been nearly impossible. Sandy also faced moments of vulnerability that she could not share publicly. Health concerns, personal setbacks, and emotional struggles were handled discreetly, away from the glare of media and fan attention. This required immense strength and resilience, as she had to confront challenges alone or within a carefully chosen network. Yet these hidden experiences shaped her character, enhancing her empathy, her patience, and her ability to approach life with both caution and grace. They were the private moments that underpinned her public confidence, giving depth to the persona audiences adored. Another layer of complexity came from the need to maintain professional excellence while managing private pressures. Sandy Duncan's career demanded energy, focus, and unwavering dedication. Each performance, rehearsal, and public appearance required her to project the brightness that audiences expected. Behind the scenes, however, she was constantly negotiating between personal responsibilities, private relationships, and emotional well-being. The ability to compartmentalize, to deliver consistent, polished work while handling personal challenges, is a testament to her remarkable discipline and resilience. The emotional toll of secrecy also extended to her sense of identity. Living in two worlds can blur boundaries and create internal conflict. Sandy had to continually assert her personal agency, reminding herself that her private life was as important as her public achievements. This conscious effort to protect herself and her relationships demonstrates a level of maturity and self-respect that few outsiders could fully appreciate. For 30 years, she succeeded in maintaining this delicate equilibrium, a feat that required constant attention, reflection, and emotional intelligence. Her story also illustrates the broader pressures of life in the public eye. Hollywood thrives on exposure, and maintaining privacy is often met with resistance or curiosity. Sandy Duncan's decision to live part of her life away from public scrutiny was not a rejection of her career or fans, but a deliberate choice to protect her personal world. It is a reminder that fame does not eliminate challenges. It magnifies them. Navigating this landscape required courage, strategic thinking, and a deep understanding of how to preserve personal boundaries. Now, after decades of maintaining this balance, Sandy has chosen to speak. Her disclosure is not an attempt to sensationalize, but a powerful acknowledgement of her journey, the joys, struggles, and sacrifices that have shaped her life. By revealing her double life, she invites audiences to see beyond the surface, to recognize the strength and resilience required to sustain such a complex existence. Her story challenges assumptions about celebrity life, showing that even those who seem to live in the spotlight often carry hidden experiences that define who they truly are. Ultimately, Sandy Duncan's decades of dual existence highlight the emotional courage required to protect oneself while living publicly. She has endured scrutiny, preserved relationships, and navigated personal challenges with remarkable poise. Her decision to finally share her story offers insight, understanding, and inspiration. It reveals the power of discretion, the necessity of resilience, and the profound impact of maintaining control over one's personal narrative. For anyone who has admired her work or followed her journey, this revelation deepens appreciation not just for her talent, but for her extraordinary ability to live authentically in two worlds at once. Now that Sandy Duncan has chosen to reveal the truth about her 3-decade-long double life, the impact is profound. The disclosure is more than just a revelation about hidden experiences. It is a testament to resilience, courage, and self-determination. By stepping forward, She transforms decades of silence into a powerful narrative about personal agency, emotional strength, and the deliberate choices required to protect one's private life in an industry obsessed with exposure. For fans and observers alike, this moment offers clarity, insight, and a newfound appreciation for the complexities of her journey. Sandy's reflection on her life underscores the importance of maintaining control over one's story. For 30 years, she carefully managed how much the world could see, balancing the demands of a high-profile career with the need to preserve intimacy, safety, and authenticity. Her ability to live in two worlds simultaneously, the public and the private, speaks to an extraordinary level of foresight and emotional intelligence. It is a reminder that fame does not simplify life. It magnifies the stakes, making privacy, discretion, and intentionality critical for survival and personal fulfillment. This revelation also highlights the profound personal growth Sandy experienced over the years. Living a double life required constant self-reflection, resilience, and adaptability. Each decision, whether about her career, relationships, or personal well-being, shaped the woman she became. By sharing her story now, Sandy demonstrates that the challenges she faced were not just obstacles to endure but opportunities for learning, empowerment, and strengthening her sense of self. Her journey offers an inspiring model of how to navigate complexity while remaining true to one's values. Family and close relationships were central to her life behind the scenes, and her discretion preserved their integrity. Protecting loved ones from intrusion and speculation required sacrifices, patience, and vigilance. Sandy's choices were often guided by love and foresight, ensuring that those closest to her were shielded from public scrutiny. By revealing her double life, she provides context for decisions that may have seemed enigmatic to outsiders, showing that her private actions were motivated by care, responsibility, and a commitment to preserving meaningful connections. Her story resonates not only because of the hidden life itself, but because of the courage it took to finally speak. The act of disclosure is empowering. It transforms secrecy into authority and isolation into shared understanding. Sandy's narrative shows that vulnerability, when chosen deliberately, can be a source of strength. It is a lesson in emotional resilience, that controlling the timing and manner of disclosure is itself an act of empowerment. Fans now gain a more complete picture of the depth, intelligence, and strategic thinking that have defined her life, both on and off stage. Moreover, Sandy's revelation challenges assumptions about celebrity life. It dispels the myth that public personas are fully representative of reality, revealing instead the intricate, unseen layers that coexist with fame. Her experience reminds audiences that every person, regardless of status, navigates private struggles, hidden joys, and complex decisions. For 30 years, she demonstrated how to maintain dignity and authenticity while managing public perception. A balancing act that few fully appreciate, but one that defines the strength of character behind the talent. Ultimately, Sandy Duncan's story is one of triumph, not merely because of her professional achievements, but because of her mastery over her personal narrative. Her decision to reveal her double life is a declaration of autonomy, a celebration of resilience, and a demonstration of the profound power of intentional living. By sharing her experiences, she leaves a legacy not just of performance and charm, but of courage, self-awareness, and the extraordinary ability to navigate life's complexities with grace. For those who have admired Sandy's career, this revelation deepens understanding and admiration. It illuminates the woman behind the roles, the performer behind the smile, and the human being who quietly balanced fame with authenticity for decades. In stepping forward, Sandy Duncan reminds us that true strength often lies in discretion, patience, and the courage to speak when the time is right. Her story is a testament to the quiet but profound power of living life intentionally, and it stands as an inspiration to anyone striving to reconcile public expectation with private truth.